Who is the Horus-Ra? Horus-Ra is an archontic interdimensional being discovered within alien abduction experiences. The name Horus-Ra was chosen due to the being's similar appearance to the ancient Egyptian hawk-headed being, as well as taking a snake-like form. People rarely encounter Horus-Ra directly, unless the fear factor with the reptilians and their co-workers is cleared. In other words, one has to be clear of fear in such a way that the awareness and clarity of mind can perceive the influence of the Horus-Ra. The emotional turmoil of an individual usually prevents this straight observation of this dark eminence of the Horus-Ra. They say that one difference between Horus-Ra and other beings like the reptilians or the Dracos, and even some of the Greys, is that normally there is an instinctual repulsion to be around these predatory alien beings. But the influence and mental input of the Horus-Ra energy is quite alluring and tempting. And you have to resist it mentally to keep the freedom of yourself, the wholeness of your being. The Ra is blocking the free state of mind. Most of the time, Horus-Ra is already within humans, but they just don't recognize it. This is reminiscent of what the Gnostics said about the archontic intrusions existing within the human mind. It is always there, but can be minimized by practicing awareness, taking on the protection of the light, and avoiding getting entrapped in the emotions of jealousy and envy. When Horus-Ra is ready, it will come forward and make his presence clear. You will see his consciousness clearly when your eyes are closed, as a hologram of an old grayish snake with a face. The message will be clear: you will have to deal with him. Those who encountered this nasty being recall waking up in a chamber-like place. On the walls were various pictures and Egyptian hieroglyphics and pictograms, and that this being wanted them to choose one. When they did, they blacked out and woke up inside of a tomb made of gray stone. They said that they were watching the consciousness of this being, and then he put them in a coffin with a heavy lid and left them there to suffocate, and that the next morning they would wake up with strange marks on their wrists. It is these incorporeal alien beings that control all other parasitic alien types. These transdimensional parasites may use various images, but the real energy within them, its actual identity, is nothing more than a black dot or shadow. The raw entity operates in a transdimensional body that looks very tall and bird-like, similar to the Egyptian god Horus. This bird-like body is not a cyborg, but it seems to be the body of a decayed humanoid race from Orion. So, the transdimensional form is Horus, and the dark entity within is Ra. Ra is a dark entity coming from another universe, a universe situated behind our universe. There is dark out there, no physical bodies, no light, no love, no souls. This raw entity places implants on the tailbone of humans below the sacrum, from where it hangs onto the abductee's body, parasiting the person and performing a perverse type of mind control. Ra may come and go to his liking. It is postulated that these non-physical aliens want to host or possess humans who have souls in order to feed off the energy so they can live forever and to manifest their control over the one consciousness within us, aspects of the true God. These incorporeal beings take on various body forms, not necessarily physical, however, in order to interact with us here. These spirit kind of parasitic beings also appear to live a long time, but are actually mortal. These beings may have been believed to be some of the immortal gods in mythological cultures. The Black Shadows, who take on the Horus-Ra figure, originate from the dark universe where the soul component cannot experience its bidimensional form. These Black Shadow beings often attach or are perceived from behind or in back of us. They have dark violet skin at times and a third eye in the middle of their forehead. We do not know if it is anatomical or technology or some kind of appendage. In the male of the species, they have under the chin a beard-like looking appendage. They have protruding scapular bones which are often mistaken for wings folded back. They have 3 fingers plus a thumb which look very bird-like, almost like talons. They have great telekinetic powers when they move. They were usually observed through screens and not really there, but rather communicate from far away to other aliens via technological devices. Because they didn't want to show up, they didn't want to be seen and understood. They are the lords of other aliens. They are so ugly and so different from any mental structure that we already have that in the beginning a lot of abductees were unable to describe them properly. Although the Horus-Ra is very high in the hierarchy of negative beings, it can still be overcome by use of light defenses and by focusing on inner awareness and developing your spiritual aspects to a high vibration.